So I'm always working on the plate. I've been drawing since I was like 3 years old, drawing portraits. And I used to draw with ballpoint pens on paper that I would find around. And I never used to draw with pencil or anything. I always used to draw directly, and if you make a mistake, so what? It just becomes part of what it is. I always liked ink, not pencil, because for me, it's about immediacy and doing something and it's there, and then I go on to something else, which is different from the mindset of certain kinds of artists who are constantly changing and molding what they're doing and thinking about it. Instead, I want to just keep moving, so I have literally thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces. I'll also just say that for about 20 years, I used to do 3 drawings a day and tear up 2 every day. Whether they were good or whether they were bad, 2 had to go. And it was just my way of building focus on quality. So a lot of what I do works in intaglio on aluminum, Drypoint, using tools like this, little grinder, and going directly in plein air, directly to the site and drawing the person at the site and just drawing right on the metal. And you can all feel this. Aluminum is very cheap and very easy. You can pass around if you wish. Easy to carry around. And when I draw on the surface of that medium, I also use this because it gives me a nice curved, quick line like a ballpoint pen. I also work a lot with Mezzotint. Mezzotint is a technique that became popular in the mid-1600s. Prince Rupert was the most famous practitioner. He was a relative of Charles II in Britain. And for about 50 years, Mezzotint was really a British thing. And Mezzotint traditionally uses a rocker, a toothed, go ahead and feel it, a rocker, a toothed chisel-like tool to put a dark toothed surface onto a plate. I like to draw all the time. So what I do is I draw with a Mezzotint rocker as though it was a drawing tool. Instead of rocking, because it's curved, I can get all these wonderful little curves, and I just draw straight on the plate. So what I was going to do right now is show you, when I print this, you'll see that there will be places on here that will be darker than others. But the surprise element, when they see their face for the first time on paper, because they've seen me working on the plate, this is the moment that makes printmaking fun. You hear that? That's what you want to hear when you do a portrait. That's why I draw. So I put a little ink on here. Now, a superb, high-quality printmaker, such as Pam over there, would do a much better job of wiping a plate than I do. And I admire people who have that personality and craft and ability to think with their fingers into the plate. It's like a masseuse or a masseur who understands the body that they're touching. I'm not like that. I'm just thinking about the plate and the personality of the person on the plate. And I think a lot about that personality. And for me, that's the important thing. Now, before I actually print it, I'm going to hold it up while it's still funky and messy with ink. This is called tarlatan, by the way. It's not traditional tarlatan. This is a new 21st century version. Tarlatan, which is a stiffening agent for ballet costumes, is what they traditionally wipe plates with. But lately, Akua came up with this thing that takes the ink off the plate really fast. So I'm removing the ink off the surface, and what's left inside is in the grooves. Now, here is the line I just made with my Mezzotint rocker. You see how the edge of her forehead has this darker line? And I drew that right in front of you just now. Does that make sense? And the other lines are more subtle. They're done in other ways. So I am 95% of the way finished. Now, and I'm going to do what's known as a state proof, meaning I'm going to test the image state to see what do I have on the plate. I have to test the state to see what's in the plate. Moist. Kind of moisty. You know, I may not get... You want a nice, moist paper, not too wet. Are we ready?
Here comes the magic.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see how the intensity of the Mezzotint is much more powerful, and the line etch is almost like a background color that I am working from. So I'm going to enrich the imagery on this by working back in just the way you saw me do it before. So that is your typical demo of intaglio processes. And although this has got ink on it, I will pass it around. And if you don't mind getting your fingers a little dirty, you can touch it and feel and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice shirt.
Questions, anybody? Oh, nice.